Hi, this is Matt with Bob Johnson's Computer Stuff. Today we're going to be doing a quick video on backing up and why you should do it and how to do it. You should always back up your files, documents, pictures, videos, especially if you're using something like QuickBooks where you have a lot of customer data on there, or some kind of troubleshooting program where you need to keep track of all of your troubleshooting, and you can't afford to lose those files. Backing up your files is important regardless if it's for business or if it's for personal use. You should always back up your files. All it takes is one failed hard drive or one nasty virus and your files are gone. But if you have a backup, you're that much more secure. You have one less thing to worry about. When it comes to doing backups, there's several different ways you can do a backup. It all depends on how you want to do the backup. You can do online backups. You can do local backups. You can use the built-in Microsoft backup software, or you can use third-party software, of which there's countless. One of the third-party softwares that works really well is called Novastore Backup. It allows you to do incremental backups and full backups to a local location, to a local device like an external hard drive or a flash drive, or to a local network location like a local server, or you can even use it to back up to your cloud services such as OneDrive or Google Drive, and to back up your files online just in case you ever run into any kind of problem and need to recover your files. One thing that I'm going to show you real quick is the built-in Microsoft backup utility. The Microsoft built-in backup utility comes with Windows. You don't have to install it. Which version of the operating system you run determines the capabilities of that utility though. For example, if you're running Windows 7 Home or Windows 10 Home, if you're running the Home or Home Premium version of the operating system, you can still use the software, but you cannot back up to a network location. So you can only back up to, say, an external hard drive or a flash drive, or to a DVD or CD or something of that nature. With the Windows 7 or Windows 10 Pro, the Pro version of the operating system, you can back up to a network location as well. And you can get to the program. You can get to the backup program from Control Panel, and just go into System and Security, Backup and Restore, set up a backup. You can also get to it by, in the search bar, just typing in backup, and it'll come up as Backup and Restore. Okay, so as you can see here, it'll open up and it'll show you your backup locations. In this case, I have just a regular flash drive plugged into it. You can set up a mapped network location. You can set up an external hard drive, or if your computer is capable of doing so, you can even set up a second internal hard drive to back up to. I do not recommend installing adding like a second partition to your hard drive and just backing up to the other partition. If you're going to do a backup, your best method is to back up to a different device. You do not want to back up your data onto the same device or onto the same hard drive. So if you want to do a local backup, you choose the location here, you'll see here. Or if you want to do a network location, you would click Save on a Network and you would type in your location. For example, if I wanted to save it on our server here, I would type in our server information and I would click next. That's not how I'm going to do it here, but the instructions on the screen are pretty clear. As for doing it on a local spot, you just choose a location. The spots are the same. The steps are the same once you get to where you want the spot that you want to save it to, whether it's a network location or a local location. You can choose to let Microsoft choose, which just typically backs up all of your important files within your user folder. So all your pictures, all your documents, all the files on your desktop. It backs up most everything you would need. But say you don't want all of that backed up, or you want that backed up plus you have files that are saved directly on the C drive or on a folder on the C drive, or you need a certain program files backed up, or whatever your case may be, and you want to choose what you want to back up, you click Let Me Choose, and then you'll click Next. From there, you can choose exactly what you want backed up. The first thing is it'll start off with the same thing scheduled to back up as the Let Me Choose option, as the Let Microsoft Choose option or Windows Choose option. Then you can drop down at the C drive, drop down the files for the C drive, and individually go to where you want to save the files. Say I wanted to individually save this folder, the util folder, which happens to host all the drivers for the Panasonic Toughbooks. You would just click the box there next to it, and to have the check mark highlighted, showing that that's going to be included in the backup, as well as all the files and folders within that folder. If I wanted to go and back up a specific user's folders, I would just go and select that user. Or if I wanted to narrow it down even further and I wanted to back up just that user's, just their documents and desktop, you can do that. It's very easy to do. You just choose exactly what you want it to back up. And for this example, let's just do the whole owner and leave it as the util folder, and click Next. And then you can change the schedule. You can have it run on a backup schedule, or you can just, or if you want, just uncheck it and you can just do a single backup. As you can see here, it's right here, it's set on demand, meaning it only backs up when you tell it to back up. Or you can set it to run on a backup schedule, and you can choose to have it do it daily, weekly, monthly. You can choose the day that it occurs, and you can choose the time. So say I wanted to do it every day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's all you have to do, is set it to daily, set the time, and click OK. And then that'll bring you back to this page having set up the schedule. From there, you click Save Settings and Run Backup. The first time you change the settings to set up the backup, it's going to do a quick backup. It's going to do an initial backup to back up your files. Now, most of the backup softwares, not just the Microsoft built-in backup program, the Backup and Restore that you're seeing here, most of the softwares work the same way. Once you set up the backup, there's an initial backup in order for it to back up all your files initially and ensure that your backup location is a valid one. That way you don't set it up and think that it's all good to go and then find out later that while you think your computer's been backing up, it really hasn't, because the network location that you were trying to back up to was not set up properly. Now, once you have your backup software configured, all you have to do is, if you have it set to a scheduled backup, just leave your device plugged in, and when it's supposed to be backing up, and it'll back up. And you should always have a backup. Regardless of what you're using your computer for, you should always have a backup. That way you never have to worry about losing anything. From this point here, it'll take a few minutes or sometimes over an hour, depending on how many files you have. The more files you have, the longer it takes to back up the files. If you just have a handful of files that you just don't want to lose, you can store them and they'll back up pretty quickly. You can back them up, they'll back up pretty quickly. Or if you're doing this on a company computer or a work computer or whatever, and you have large files and lots of them, it'll take longer. In some cases, it'll run for hours depending on how much you have. Typically, it's pretty quick, but yet again, it depends on how many files you have, and also a factor in how quick it runs depends on the specs of your computer. If you're backing up off of a computer with an older, slower processor and a standard hard drive and low amounts of RAM, it's going to take longer than if you had a newer computer with a faster processor, say an i5 or an i7 processor with 4, 8, or 16 gigs of RAM and a solid state drive. It'd be a lot quicker with a computer that has better specs. Once you have the backup going, it's the same. It's virtually the same which each different type of software you use. You can go in and from within the software choose restore instead of backup, or restore my files or recover my files. Anything along those words. As you can see here, it's just backing up all the files directly to the C drive. And just for time purposes, I'm just going to stop this backup for right now. And then show you how you would go about restoring your files. You would go ahead and just, as I said, choose the option that says restore my files. You will browse for the files. And choose the files that you want to back up. And then from there you can even you should even be able to select exactly where you want the files to back up to. So you can choose to restore the file in the original location, or to restore the file in the following location, and you can change where you want it to go to. Say you wanted to restore it instead of to the util2 folder to directly on the desktop, you can. You just have to direct it to do so. And as you can see, it restored it directly to the desktop like I just told it to. Okay, so that's just a quick video on how to back up and why you should back up. You should always back up your files. If you have any questions or any comments or any suggestions, just let us know. You can give us a call anytime at 877-202-7788, and our tech support email is tech_support@bobjohnson.com. If, like I said, if you have any suggestions or any comments or any questions, just let us know. That's it for today. Thank you. Have a good day.